Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense at that fell harmlessly to the ground. Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On play action, now Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And again, it's Rodgers. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. 4 consecutive passes to begin this opening drive, and you can't argue with the results. They've already driven it into the red zone and a fresh set of downs here to play with.
Which means there's a lot of trust by the play caller, by the quarterback, the receivers, you name it. Everyone locked in, everyone doing their job. I'd continue to go in that direction because right now they got the defense back on their heels.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Packers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful for the yard out. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 2nd and 7, Brady looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Brady. And this one caught by Max Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 37. Now Brady. There's a nice move. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a play fake, Brady. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. David Onyemata never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bucs are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Brady's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch,
oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Rashawn Gary, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. On is the punter, Bryan Anger, to kick this one away. And take it right on the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Rodgers finding Watson for the Packer first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe
touchdown!
Christian Watson.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Levante David.
And the Buccaneers are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. A much-needed boost defensively there. I mean, that really one of the first things that's gone right for them in this first half.
No question about it, partner. We've seen this before. You've got an offense that doesn't have any points yet. Go out and make a play on D. Then you head back to the sideline saying, we got you the football back. Now we'll see what you can do with it.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. Quay Walker. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
From his end zone, it's Brady on 3rd and long. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Bryan Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Fielded at about the 28. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. 23 yards, the final tally. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
He'll go right back to Tonyan. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 2nd and inches, Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tonyan. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Rodgers again now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Christian Watson
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st down, Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it.
And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended.
And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
Inside the 20.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Brady finding Godwin there for a Buccaneer first.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Go Bandit! Hey, Alabama.
To throw is Brady. Dumps it off to Fournette. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Leonard Fournette, a 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bucs take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
That catch moves him over 100 yards now for this wild card game, and a first down as well. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick six territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
And he is going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
To throw is Rodgers.
Looking for Tunyon on the crosser, and he's got it complete.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And again, it's Rodgers. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They get this out quickly to the left side. Touchdown! Allen Lazard. A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And it's a Packers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Rodgers now on 1st down.
He finds his receiver, Watson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And he's got it. Touchdown. Aaron Rodgers on fire. His 5th touchdown pass of the ball game.
And the Packers continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. A shotgun give to Fournette. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Brady got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On play action, it's Rodgers. He's got a man, it's his fullback.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Rodgers now on first down. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with that.